All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again. Good morning and welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Of course, I'm your host, Lance Migliaccia, with my co-host, Ride or Die, George Ballantine. Of course, it's always edge of the knife on this show. You know what it's all about. It's exposing the truth. We try to bring the facts, the sauce, the evidence. Call it whatever you will. It's what we do here every single day on this show, on our regular show, on the radio show. We never stop. We're looking for the top news stories, domestic and international, because we want you guys to have a go-to spot where you can count on the truth. So if we make a mistake, feel free to correct us because, of course, we're not infallible. We can make mistakes. George B.
Yep.
My brother, how are you, man?
I'm good. How's it going?
Doing good. You know, SOS, another day, another dollar. Grinding away, doing what we're doing. And, of course.
Let's just get the show started right, Lance.
All
right? It's Taco Tuesday, bro.
Is that I don't know. For the audience, is that the right way to start the show, guys? What do you think? What do you think? You're going to get in the
however
chat.
George does it, it doesn't matter. I'm doing it. That's the right way. Let's go. Let's hear it from the chat.
Let me know in the chat. I'm a little over the Taco Tuesday thing. I'm a little over the naming days acronyms, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just got a glass of haterade. I don't know. But if you love the show, you know what to do. Thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe. If you can do the $5 subscription, you can gift subscriptions. We appreciate all of that. It helps us build up a base we can count on. Of course, these shows have lots of overhead you guys never hear about, and there's always new equipment that's needed because, of course, innovation and technology, it never stops. So we try to keep ahead of the curve. George is always doing everything he can to make sure the show's production is top quality for you. It's what we do. We struggle with it, but it is one of those things you have to do because you want to create a superior product. And of course, if you'd like to sponsor the show, you can hit us up over at info@thebigmig.com. We're always looking for like-minded sponsors, people that have great products for our audience, people with, great discounts, that sort of a thing. So listen, we love our gold and silver. This is the Prepper Bar from Genesis Gold Group. It's the 62.2 gram Prepper Bar, perforated and very easily broken down into your choice of 3 separate denominations. Of course, it's going to fit a multitude of needs. It can be asset protection from inflation, diversification, economic turmoil, or in the case of the Prepper Bar, it's very unique utility for barter and trade. You can see there's 3 different denominations where you can just snap that small piece off to make a payment. Because let's face it, are you really going to carry around a big pair of tin snips and a silver or 1 ounce silver coin or a 1 ounce gold token? No. The truth of the matter is you're not. And at these prices, you're going to need a way to make a smaller payment. That's what the Prepper Bar is all about. The Genesis Gold Group guys identified that problem early on from their client base, and that's why they came up with this. It's an amazing product. It's a perfect gift for precious metal lovers and really pretty much everybody. They call it the Prepper Bar. It's not just for preppers. It's just for about your grandkids, children, birthdays, holidays, Hanukkah, you name it. Everybody loves gold and silver at these prices. They're always selling out fast. They did just get a big restock in both gold and silver, so no concern. If you place an order today, your shipment will go right out. They come with an assay report, so you don't have to worry about any counterfeit gold. Of course, the guys at Genesis have been in the business for decades. You can do IRA investment with you. You can do 401k. You can do bulk volume. They can do asset purchases in bullion for millions of dollars. They have that kind of access. Get over there to genesisgoldgroup.com. That's right, genesisgoldgroup.com. And you can hit them up at 888-526-7154, 888-526-7154. Let them know that the Big Mig Show sent you. You can ask for Keith Height if you're going to be looking at doing initial investment. What I love about them is low pressure, no pressure. They literally are not high pressure salespeople. They'll give you the information. If you just want some of the packets on your 401k, your IRA, when we started with these guys, had you invested in gold and silver, you'd be way up. When we started with them, gold was under $2,000 an ounce, and silver was, I think it was about $25 or $30. So would have made a big difference in your portfolio. I still think there's a lot of upside, silver especially, shortage coming online. Remember, you heard it here first. GenesisGoldGroup.com.
Keep going, Lance. Just resetting something.
Well, here we are. As usual, we've been digging in all morning. We wanted to make sure we were up to date on all the most important news for you guys. Looks like big news, and I got to give it to her, Catherine Herridge. She's definitely a great journalist, great investigator, and it turns out that she's got proof that the CCP had been blackmailing the Biden family. Now, think about that. A sitting president, an investigative journalist discovers evidence that Joe Biden's family was being blackmailed by China. And she has the documents. And she's saying mainstream media, as usual, ignored it. Now, she's saying what we saw in the release of the records, which I'm afraid I think in the middle of legacy media, there was kind of a willful blindness. They didn't want to look at the records. All you had to do was spend a couple of hours. I found these records which are talking about blackmail by China. It was for President Biden's daily brief. I can conclude, I think, that it was probably about targeting his family. Now, think about that. Think about how big that news is. Think about what a deal that is. Pretty important. Sitting president getting blackmailed by a foreign adversary. Not a very good situation when you look at the big picture. When you start thinking about what we're dealing with here, it's actually pretty complicated. George, what do you think about this? I think this is a massive story. I give her credit. These documents were available. Anybody could have done the research, but she's saying, here it is. And it was ignored and buried.
Do you remember ever since Biden got elected that we'd always say he was CCP's puppet?
Yeah.
Looks like we were right again. Right again.
Remember how he was keeping the documents that he had that broom closet or a mop closet at that one facility that was shared with Chinese government officials?
Yeah, that in his house. But
now I'm starting to wonder, did he do that intentionally? Did he take classified documents there as part of this blackmail operation? And did he place them in that closet so they would be available to the CCP?
Who knows? You know, it might have been, but like they say they were blackmailing the whole family. So what did Jill Biden give up? Well, we know Hunter would give up anything for some crack or whatever, or hooker. But, you know.
Well, there's no doubt there was an unsavory relationship between Hunter Biden and China. We know that.
So here's another $1 million question. Just for this part alone. Is there going to be any consequences for China? I mean, because like Trump said, the 2020 election, that was a while ago. I think China learned, they changed. I don't know. Are we going to allow them to say they learned and changed again here? I mean, the list keeps adding up, and there's going to be more. I mean, I don't want to get into the second part, Lance, because I want to just do this first part because you brought that piece of media, the other one. But this is crazy. And all this was ignored. Here's another big step, she said. All this was ignored and buried by the FBI, the CIA, and the media. But let's talk about CIA and FBI. Once again, they're burying stuff. Has there been any consequences? Has there been any arrests? Any FBI people or CIA being held accountable? You know, I just seen Pulte, Lance. They said he got rid of 30% of deep staters. But from my understanding, they're all staffers. Okay. If they're staffers, what about the people they're working for? What about getting rid of them? You shouldn't get rid of staff. They can just bring in more corrupt staff. And we're doing the same circle of freaking corruption. Nothing changes. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Jerk for sure, George. And I agree with you. But again, here we are without even looking at China. And what's interesting is we don't see this same kind of information where Xi Jinping was trying to be compromised by the U.S. government. We don't see a parallel where we're hearing this kind of news coming out of China that the U.S. did this, the U.S. did that. I know Trump says we do something to them, they do something to us. But it's not that I don't expect China or Russia or our adversaries, North Korea or anybody else, to do these kind of operations. Even our allies, I believe, run intelligence operations on the U.S. because they want to keep a finger on the pulse of what our political elites or our political executive branch is doing in relation to NATO, UN, the WHO. I think it's standard. But what I don't think is standard is that when government officials are involved and they cover it up, when FBI agents Cash Patel are involved in the cover-up of information that I would think is extremely important for the American public. I think a blackmail op being run against our sitting president of the time and his family, we don't know how much he participated. I would think that if the CIA officials or FBI officials cover that up, that is in direct conflict with their contractual obligation in these agencies. My question is directly to Pulte, Kash Patel, Donald Trump, Dan Scavino. What the fuck? I keep hearing about all this stuff. I keep hearing about, oh, we caught this and we exposed that and here's this. I still have yet seen the deep state arrests we were promised. And you know, for the audience, I've got to ask you, are you guys tired of waiting? Because I sure as fuck am. I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of them exposing, oh, there's election fraud. Oh, here's a blackmail operation. Oh, there's the auto pen. Oh, there's this, there's that. And nobody's going to jail. But I can sure as hell tell you, if it was any of you guys in the audience, you'd be on your way already. The FBI would have been flashbanging your house, kicking your dog, and they would have been snatching you up this morning, and you'd be on pretrial hold. Treason, seditious conspiracy. I just can't figure out why government officials never face the consequences of their actions. Why they never have to be sanctioned, fired, and then indicted. Can anybody, we're here. Trump administration, feel free to contact us if you'd like to come on the show. You can come on right now. Why not? I think my point is when the fuck are people going to get arrested? It's not enough to expose it. It doesn't do anything to expose it if there's no consequences. And that's my problem with this. My issue with all of this information, and it isn't that it's fantastic that Catherine Herridge, put this out. I give her all the credit in the world. But the point of the matter is, where are the consequences? When the FBI buries and ignores intelligence information that is crucial to the national security interests of the United States, and when the CIA does it, those are actual officials that are making that decision. I want to see those people friggin' arrested. And I just don't understand what it's going to take. Todd Blanche, you've been in there a while now. I'm starting to wonder, are you going to make some deep state arrests, bro? Are you going to arrest any government officials? And you in the audience, you guys should be filling up our congressional members' feeds. You should be filling up Donald Trump's feeds on True Social, Todd Blanche, Kash Patel. And you should be asking them, what the F? Are you guys ever going to make any deep state freaking arrests? Are you ever going to make these people be held accountable? George, I don't know how much longer we've got to wait. The clock is ticking. Donald Trump's term in office, and I told you this before, when these midterms hit, it's going to be bad. It's going to turn into a full shit show, and everything good and everything possibly moving in any positive direction for the American people, Congress is just going to shit all over us. Look at John Thune. He's not doing shit. He doesn't want to pass the SAVE Act. He ought to resign his position today. If he can't handle the heat, then get out of the fire, bro. That guy needs a power slap like everybody. George, you tell me. I keep saying the same thing. I sound like a broken record on the show. For the audience, are you guys in the same mental state here? Are you guys as upset as I am that there aren't any arrests going on? Because I'm going to tell you this. Everybody's saying, oh, they're coming, or they're going to come this, or they're there. There's so many arrests that have to happen. They wouldn't have all the time if they wait much longer. If they started issuing indictments today, if they started issuing hundreds of indictments, how long do you think it would take to execute those indictments? To start pulling those people in and putting them into the system. And what do you think is going to happen once the midterms happen? You think they're not going to crap all over that? Say that Donald Trump weaponized the system against his political adversaries. He needs to be indicted, misfeasance and malfeasance and nonfeasance of a president. They're going to come up with every line of shit they can possibly come up with. You tell me, George, do we have to keep waiting? Are we holding our breath? We're talking about Florida. Maybe there's something going on there. They've got all the subpoenas. I don't think, these investigations, it's incredible that the investigations when it comes to government, malfeasance, it's interesting how those investigations take forever. But if they want to go get a J6er, oh, they can get him tomorrow. If they want to go come and get you because they think you participated with a foreign, a FARA violation, right? A Foreign Agency Registration Act violation, they're going to be coming for you immediately. They'll come and get you. They'll start with the initial indictment, and then they do the superseding indictment, which is where the rest of the investigation. This is not, this is what I'm saying. This is just not going the way we were promised, what we voted for. I think we got sold, a shitty, damaged bill of goods.
We did. Let's play the clip.
What we saw in the release of the records, which I'm afraid, I think in the media or legacy media, there was kind of a willful blindness. They didn't want to look at the records. All you had to do was spend a couple of hours. I found these records, which are talking about blackmail by China. It was for President Biden's daily brief. I can conclude, I think, that it was probably about targeting his family. When that kind of information is not reaching a decision maker, ultimately the United States and the American people are the losers.
Right.
And I think that's what people need to be focused on.
Well, it's dangerous as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're not getting into it.
So this is wild. So in these documents she's holding right here, we're being told is information and evidence that the Biden family is being blackmailed by China. This is something that we all thought was happening, but now there seems to be proof. Now we're not being told what the proof is, but she's saying that it is there, and I'm sure it will be released. So we can speculate a little bit. I found a clip that I shared a while back, and I think that we'll just revisit it right now. Here it is. And this is on CNN, and what they're saying right here is that the Biden family admitted in court that they were being paid off by Chinese companies. So I think it's worth listening to this after what we just listened to in that previous video.
And Kristen, Glenn Kessler from the Washington Post had a fact check about Joe Biden from earlier this month, noting that Hunter Biden admitted in court in July that he was in fact paid substantial sums from Chinese companies. Kessler wrote, Hunter Biden reported nearly $2.4 million in income in 2017 and $2.2 million in income in 2018, most of which came from Chinese or Ukrainian interests. But this.
So right there, let me just stop it right there. So right here, the Biden family is being paid millions year after year from China. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than this.
Now you have to ask, what other politicians do China have CCP have a hold of? I mean, you looked at what? Feinstein when she had her driver who's CCP. Who else was it, Lance? There was another one. Oh, he's out though right now. Sawwell with Fang Fang. Fang Fang, chitty chitty bang bang. We love you long time, Mr. Sawwell. Yeah, I mean, but there's got to be others. And Lance, you found this second part, which is very, very interesting. The media. Once again, our media, how corrupt are they? They said investigative reporter claims dozens of American journalists are on China's payroll. This has come from reporter Natalie Winters. She is part of, I think, Bannon War Room? And she's saying this, and I mean, she's not saying it. Hathaway said it too, but she's coming up with the names and stuff here. And she goes, foreign agent filings reveal that operatives working for a Chinese Communist Party-linked influence organization planned free trips for American journalists based on the potential for favorable coverage and sought to be effectively disseminate positive messages about Beijing. Now, you got to think, Lance, when they're planning them free trips and they get to where the destinations are, and then these Chinese counterparts meet them. What else are they? What are they giving them? They're giving them cash on the table? What? A little crypto? I don't know. A little something.
I mean, who knows? Because I don't think the filings did not plainly identify the reporters who received this access. And they were given incredible access. They were even taken to Chinese military bases. My point is, is this the kind of thing that we want our news media participating in? The Foreign Agency Registration Act form may not have been accurate enough in these Chinese trips. The fact that they were organized and funded by, China United States Exchange Foundation, which is called CUEF, CUSEF. Now think about this. This roster includes current and former journalists from the New York Times, from CNN, from MSNBC, from the Washington Post, NPR, Associated Press, Vox, The Atlantic, the Los Angeles Times, the Chicago Tribune, and a lot of other major American news organizations. Now, my question is, Donald Trump, Kash Patel, are we going to investigate these journalists? Are we going to check their financial records? How do we know that they haven't even been compromised even further than just a pricey VIP, first class airfare, high-end, accommodations. What else did they get? As George Ballantine just said. My question is, are you guys going to do anything about this? And is this the kind of thing that our news media should be participating in? That they're going to a foreign adversary country on an all-expense-paid trip so they can get favorable press from major news sources as a scam, as a manipulation, as a false narrative against the American public. I mean, this list is unbelievable how many of these people went and how they were treated over there. Do we do the same thing with Chinese press? Do you think the Chinese government would allow their press to come over on a U.S. VIP, all expense paid trip so that the U.S. can get favorable press? Somebody show me a comparison. And, this is, again, why are we allowing this? I mean, I think these news agencies should lose their licenses, any of their broadcast licenses, any effect that they could have. I think there needs to be a full investigation on this. And Natalie Winters, congratulations. I think it's a great story, and I think you did a great job investigating it. But here we are again with more exposure. And my question is for the audience. You guys tell me in the chat. Should these people have a full investigation? Because like George just said, did they get a little crypto wallet? Maybe a little Bitcoin? I mean, is anybody going to check their finances? I mean, this is heavy stuff here. And the point of the matter is, this is the kind of thing that isn't good, because imagine if all of these people are going to put positive press in the media right now about China. There are a lot of Americans that don't come to the Big Mig Show. They don't come for alternate news sources. And when I say alternate, I mean truthful news sources. You heard the list. New York Times, that's not a truthful news source. CNN, that's not a truthful news source. MSNBC, that's not a truthful news source. WAPO, NPR, Associated Press, Vox, The Atlantic.
Hey, Lance, I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you said it because I was looking at something, trying to fix something.
Yeah.
Natalie Winter said she goes by cross-referencing the filings with archived newsletters, annual reports, and contemptuous accounts. Her investigation uncovered the names of prominent American journalists who actually participated in China trips organized or funded by the CCP.
Mm-hmm.
And it says the China United States Exchange Foundation, or CUSEF.
Yep.
So,
yep.
And she said they're current and former journalists from New York Times, CNN, MSNBC. So we do know who they are in that sense.
We specifically know who they are. And you're talking about foreign agent filings. I mean, these were operatives working for the Chinese Communist Party.
And what's convenient,
that actually organized this trip.
What's convenient is they said in several cases the trips were followed by columns and reports defending the CCP government policies, attacking Trump's confrontation with Beijing, or presenting the decline of American manufacturing as unavoidable. I mean, all these journalists, they should be freaking locked up right now. Taken away. They should just take away all the press passes and all that. Take it all. Throw them out of the White House. Each agency.
I mean, that's a great point. Let me ask you, Donald Trump. Let me ask you, J.D. Vance. Is the New York Times going to be thrown out of the press pool for this? How about CNN and MSNBC? You're going to throw them out of the press pool?
How long ago was this happening?
How about WAPO, NPR, Associated Press, Vox, The Atlantic, Los Angeles Times? Are they all going to lose their access?
No, Lance, no, because that was a while. That was what, 2017, 16, 17, 20, up to 20? No,
gosh.
It happened already. They learned. I think they changed.
Oh, they learned, yeah.
Not going to be no consequence. No.
Yeah. And for me, I'm tired. Listen, I'm extremely tired of the no arrest, no consequences. People are just doing whatever the fuck they want, and this administration isn't doing jack shit about it. If I sound unhappy with what's going on in the administration, I am. If Donald Trump was on this show, I tell him myself, I said, what happened to we caught them all? If Kash Patel had the nerve to come back on the show, I'd ask him, you wrote a book called Government Gangsters. You built the blueprint for what you plan to do. The FBI office was going to be a museum.
Mm-hmm.
What a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. My opinion is that you guys deceived us. You promised us one thing and you've delivered us a shit sandwich. I don't like shit sandwiches.
I mean, if you look at it now, the Chinese are doing a big disinformation warfare on like data centers and stuff.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
They don't want the U.S. to have data centers. They don't want the U.S. to beat them in AI.
Nope.
I can't blame them. Why would they? Why would they want their foreign adversary to have a better AI infrastructure than they do?
You know, the difference is if you try doing that in China, you can't with their media because it's state-run media, CCP.
That's
and
right.
if anybody speaks up or anything, they're gonna quietly, maybe not even quietly, lock you up and then kill you in their prison or in the system. God forbid.
I can guarantee.
God forbid we have to do that here. What?
If the U.S. intelligence organizations organized a VIP tour for top Chinese journalists, 0 would show up because they would know that their government would crush them like insects. Now, I'm not saying I agree with the policies of the Chinese government, but you have to admit you can take this mode over here where we're a bunch of pussies, where our administration won't lock up government officials. They won't go after the news agencies. I don't even understand why 60 Minutes is still on air after what they did with the Kamala Harris interview. I mean, I know Donald Trump got a big settlement. I don't know what happened to the money. Supposedly it was going to be used for all sorts of things. I'm not saying it was or wasn't. But I just don't understand why we would allow these news media to continue to have access to the White House. Isn't this enough to say, oh, no, hell no, you're out? I mean, this is a national security issue. You don't hear the press talking about it because, of course, none of these press are going to talk about it. They're too busy printing positive press or negative press, whatever the CCP puppeteers tell them to do. Hey, we've got some more Bitcoin for you. Oh, we've got another trip coming up. We're going to VIP you all over the country. By the way, we really feel like these data centers are a problem. So what? Now tomorrow CNN's going to come out with a anti-data center story, or MSNBC. See, there's the manipulation. The awful part about this is that you and the audience face the consequences, not necessarily you specifically, because you're here on our show and you're now finding out the truth. But your family members don't know. My mom wouldn't know about this. She would watch MSNBC and she'd be like, oh my gosh, have you seen that the data centers are really going to use all our power and we might not have power and it's going to cause problems? My mom's 93. She doesn't even watch my show. She's an anti-Trumper. To her, Trump is a misogynist. She heard it so many times on news, she uses that word. I don't even know if she knows what misogynist means. Not that my mom isn't intelligent. It's just that she's brainwashed by the media she watches. I don't get into a lot of political discussions with her because she's 93. How many other people in the audience are dealing with the same issues with their parents, their loved ones? Oh my gosh, my own daughter. She's not an anti-Trumper, but she's definitely more on that, community socialist kind of belief system, right? Oh, it's got to be good for the community. And I say it's got to be good for the country. It's got to be good for the people. And this is not good for either one. So I'll throw the gauntlet down again. Donald Trump. My question is, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about the FBI and CIA that covered up, Biden potentially being in a blackmail situation? We don't know how far that blackmail operation went. We know that he had a closet full of, he had a garage full of national security documents he wasn't supposed to. He still hasn't been criminally charged for that. He had because he was just a feeble old guy that didn't understand what he was doing. I'm tired of these excuses. Excuses are like assholes. We all have them and they all smell.
Okay.
How about no more excuses to the administration? How about you finally do what you said? How about a major amount of arrests? How about throwing these people just today, just say, hey, by the way, your press passes have been revoked to the White House? How about just some consequences for actions? I know you do it to George. I know you do it to me, and I know you do it to our listeners and subscribers, because our listeners and subscribers are intelligent. They don't take things at face value. I know what you guys do. You guys investigate. Even the stuff we talk about, you investigate. I've gotten all kinds of messages from you in our info at thebigmig.com. You guys will tell us, hey, I found this, I found that. You guys are educated listeners, viewers, subscribers, and we appreciate that you give us a voice. Without you, well, it'd just be George and I talking to each other. But when is enough enough? When are we going to draw the line in the sand, George?
I don't know, but since you brought up your mom and your sister, I'm going to bring up mine. So let me start. My two sisters and brothers, they love Trump. They're conservatives. Mama Dukes is a conservative. She loves Trump. The only thing with Trump that sometimes she doesn't like is the way, sometimes he talks to people. Like, why does he have to open his mouth and say that? Which is true. I agree with some of the things he says, but yeah. And if they don't watch the show, but If they did say anything
I
stupid
would
or
like
against
Trump
it,
to
I
even
would
talk more shit, but talking
Huh?
shit isn't enough.
what?
I would like Trump to even talk more shit to these people. But the truth of the matter is, I'm like that. I'm edgy. You guys know that about me.
No,
But I want more than words. I want actions, because actions always speak louder than words. I'm hearing a lot of this in D.C. A lot of talking. A lot of, oh my gosh, look what we found. Oh, here's another thing. Oh, we just found a skiff. Oh, we just found a bunch of documents in burn bags. I mean, I have to be honest with you. I want Tulsi Gabbard back. She seemed to be bringing the fire. I'll be honest with you. She's presidential material in my book, Tulsi. Vice presidential material. I trust her. I think she's legitimate. I know a bunch of people that know her. They talk very highly about her, that she doesn't like what's going on. Listen, I had a horrible discussion with somebody. I'm not going to say who it was, about Washington, D.C. And this individual has got a job that he was put in there by the Trump administration. And he said there's two types of people in D.C. He goes, and there's a lot, and he said there are many, many very smart people in D.C. He goes, there's a small group that really wants to do the right thing and wants to fix things. But they're like salmon swimming upstream, because there's another group that's much larger, still very intelligent people. And the larger group is just trying to get theirs. They're trying to get promotions and bonuses and overtime and benefits and anything they can get while they're in a position of government influence and power. They don't care about you. And he said this specifically, and this is somebody I trust implicitly. He's a very trustworthy individual. And he told me it's horrible trying to get anything done, because the intelligent people that are only trying to get theirs, every time you try to get something done, they want to know what's in it for them. This is the nature of our government and our executive branch. When they don't have consequences, when they can ride on this absolute immunity, qualified immunity, and act like somehow they've got a higher and different position when it comes to the law, guess what? We face the consequences of that. All right, listen, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Big Mean Show is going to take a short break. We'll be back with George B., Lance M. You know how we're doing it. We're going after everybody. We're going to play. Did we play the clip on Catherine yet? We haven't played that clip, have we?
We played it, Lance.
Oh, did we? Okay, I'm sorry. I kind of lost track of there. All right, well, listen, we'll be right back. We're going to be talking about the Obama and this diary bombshell. Fauci, yep, Beaglegate. There's more. And Obama's knee deep in it, another piece of shit that hasn't faced any consequences yet. Yeah, stay tuned. We'll be right back here.
All right, don't go nowhere.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar, the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. Don't leave your future to chance. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now at prepperbar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here with your host, Lance Migliaccio, yours truly, George Ballantine, Big Mig Mafia in the chat, Big Mig Army. If you're out there listening or watching, come join the chat. I'll give you a shout out right now. Or if I see you doing it through the show, I'll give you a shout out. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, like, follow, share. And if you could hit that subscribe for $5 a month, we truly appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Just your support alone helps. And this is why Lance and I, we're going to give you guys a little something. Perfect solution for the people that can't watch their crypto 24/7. Talking about Block Trust IRA to bring in access to cryptocurrency wealth everyday Americans. Their exclusive Animus AI trading platform works 24/7, analyzing market data and executing advanced crypto strategies that go far beyond buy and hold. This sophisticated technology was once reserved only for Wall Street insiders, but guess what? Now it's available to you. And this system was named #1 crypto technology platform by Bitcoin Magazine out of more than 1,500 global competitors. Our clients are already seeing over 250% returns on their investment, all military-grade security, up to $200 million insurance. Your wealth is fully protected, so don't wait. Visit bigmigcrypto.com today and see how you can join this financial revolution. Once again, visit bigmigcrypto.com today and you can get up to $2,500 of free crypto. QR codes on the screen. Take a screenshot. Links in the chat. Links in the more section. You know, Lance, before we get to the other story, let's do something real quick. Because I just brought up crypto. And you know what's holding up the crypto markets and everything? Is they haven't passed the Clarity Act. It's sitting there with Senate. I don't know what John Thune's waiting for. It got out of committee. All they got to do is put it on the floor for a vote, and they're not doing it. It's just one of the things he's not doing. And, that's why crypto's stagnant right now, because nobody knows what regulations, what's they're going to be. So people want, they want to secure their money in something they know what's going to happen, or I should say what securities and whatever is in place and laws. And John Thune's just sitting around with that. And then we got the SAVE Act. Trump's been hammering him on the SAVE Act. He hasn't done nothing.
Clarity Act.
Huh?
I haven't heard a word about the Clarity Act.
And then on the SAVE Act, he's also like, who's the other senator that said, oh, we don't need the filibuster now. Or you can still drop the filibuster either way. But Thune just doesn't want to do it. And I don't know, these senators, they should just call it. All the senators should just call him out and put a no confidence vote to get his ass out and pick somebody else and get it done. It's crazy. Now, Lance, you want to do that now? What you want to do? Fuck it, let's do it now.
I don't see why not. I did something that I threw here, and this is, you guys always send us little things like, what can we do to help? What can we do to get involved? What do you guys think? So I'm going to give you something. I'm going to dump it here. Hang on a minute. Let me grab it. I'm going to grab a little something here and I'm going to dump it into the chat. Do it. All right. Hang on a minute. Apologize. I should have had this more prepped, but George threw me a little bit of a curveball here. I didn't think we were going to do this quite yet, but I think the timing on it is perfect. His timing is impeccable as usual.
I thought you were just going to call.
I am, but I'm going to give the audience, because they can do the same thing we're about to do.
All right. Well, you can make the call and they can call after the show. We don't want them calling during the show. Then they miss what we're going to say.
No, I agree with you.
All right. So just call up.
Put it in here. Everybody will have it. All right, so I've got John Thune's office number. It's not any big deal. Everybody can get this. The reason I'm doing this is I'm going to call John Thune's office right now.
Call him up.
I'm going to do it right now, and I'm going to ask him, what is it going to take for him to get off his ass? And I'm also going to recommend that if he can't handle it, maybe it's time to resign. So let me dial him up here, George. Hang on a minute. Grab the phone number here. Oh, this is just his Senate office. You know, it all goes to voicemail. They're not going to take a direct call from anybody. I'm going to put it on speaker so you guys can hear. Just see what old John Thune has to say here.
John, put the phone to the microphone, Lance. Hold it up.
General information about office locations and services, please press 2. I'd like to speak to a member of my staff. Hi, this is Senator John Thune. Please leave a detailed message containing your name, address, and email address so we can reach you. I appreciate you calling.
They give you email address. They'll start fundraising you.
At the tone. Finish. Press pound for option.
Senator Thune, this is Lance Migliaccio and George Valentine. We're the hosts of the Big Mig Show. And our audience is curious. They're in our chat right now. There's tens of thousands of people watching our show right now. We get millions of views. My question is, when the hell are you going to get off your ass and pass the Save America Act? Do you have any plan? I mean, what exactly is going through your mind? Everybody in America wants this. We need ID for just about damn near everything else, but yet you can't seem to get this passed. You know, it's funny how you guys hyped up how you were going to control the House and you were going to control the Senate and you were going to get things done. And yet Congress, you guys are the most ineffective, worthless jackasses that we've had in that position for a very long time. And my take is this. America wants the SAVE Act. Feel free if you'd like to come on the show. Here's our phone number, 720-380-0059, 720-380-0059. Welcome you to come on the show and defend your position.
Can we get the Clarity Act too?
I'm sorry. Oh, and the Clarity Act would be another one. We're still curious as to why you guys can't get the bankers under control, that real world assets and high rates of return. The American public doesn't deserve that. Meanwhile, we've got 30% interest on credit cards. And they want to give us savings rate in single digits. Pretty incredible. But let's talk about the SAVE Act. Let's focus on this, John. My question is, when are you going to get something done?
For a recording. To send this message, press pound.
Typical Lance talking too much.
Yeah. Should I call back and leave him one more message?
No.
What I would tell you guys is to tell him, what I was going to add to that is, why don't you resign if you can't get your fucking job done? I don't think he's delivering on his promises. You guys now have the phone
Lance,
number.
80-something-year-old Mitch McConnell would have got it done if he wanted to. He would have. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mitch McConnell even alive?
Well, he put out another video or something yesterday.
Proof of life video?
Proof of life, yeah. Regardless.
You guys have the phone number.
If he was alive, whatever, if he was a Senate leader and if he backed that bill and he would have got it, brought it to the floor to vote and get it passed. Mitch McConnell would have made it happen if he wanted to. So.
Well, I don't even know if Mitch McConnell's not a vegetable or if he's even alive at this point.
Whatever. It's like an example.
All right. I agree with you. Everybody should call John Thune. They should go over to his feed in X and maybe tell him what you think. Might be time just to really inundate him with thousands and thousands of calls from the Big Mig Show. Maybe thousands and thousands of you posting in John Thune's feed and tell him what a sack of shit he is. That if he can't handle the heat, then get out of the fire, that he should resign today. Maybe somebody else can step in and get the job done. All right, George, this is a big bombshell. Tell me about what's going on here with Fauci. Of course, another guy that got the blanket pardon, the auto pen pardon, and I just can't understand why he's still walking around.
Well, there's a lot of things coming out with Fauci. He's about to go in front of I think it's the Senate tomorrow, Senate or Congress. I think it's the Senate tomorrow for a hearing. He got subpoenaed. And he have about his diary bombshell. When they say diary, I'm like, wait a minute, how did they get a hold of his diary? Isn't your diary personal? Just curious. I don't know, but in this diary, there's multiple things, but the first thing, and I brought this up because Lance is very big on dogs, and I love dogs too, that Obama personally coached Fauci on Beaglegate. He deployed his fiction and weaponized the Washington Post to try and crush white coat waste. Isn't that interesting? You know Fauci, because he just, what did he do? He put, like, they're in cages, the beagles, and he put all those sand flies on and their faces and stuff. I mean, just tortured them dogs. I remember Lance, when that came out, that story, Lance said, we should put Fauci in a cage with all them flies. Let it see how he likes it.
Yeah, my opinion is that I would stick Fauci's head and I would let the sand flies. What we're talking about is he stuck beagles' heads. He cut their vocal cords because you didn't want to hear them screaming. And he stuck beagles with a box on their head full of sand flies, and the sand flies were eating them alive. This is the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When you have a sociopath that's willing to victimize animals, you can imagine what he thinks of people. Sociopaths and serial killers, just so we're clear, have a long history of abusing animals. Everyone you can think of, Dahmer, all the rest of them, have a history as children of abusing animals, running experiments on animals. Fauci is scum. Here's another one for the administration. What are you going to do about these auto pen? Are you going to ever get these blanket, I get a pardon for everything possible deals revoked? Fauci lied to everybody. He ran these taxpayer-funded animal experiments. This is like a mad scientist's personal diary. And then Obama not only contacted the former NIAID head about the Beaglegate scandal, but actively advised him and connected him with his political fixer, Eric Schultz. If you know who Eric Schultz is, he's a scumbag. He's a political fixer for the Democrats. And Schultz explained to him how to discredit and shut down the taxpayer watchdog organization. You know, we had people on here about white coat waste. We had them on here. We discussed a lot of the stuff that's still going on. Terrible, horrible animal testing on primates and dogs still going on. This administration said they were going to stop it, but it's still happening. And here we are right here. Not only this, George, I don't know if you caught it this morning. I guess Fauci took the COVID vaccine and had a horrible medical issue that the vaccine triggered, and he hid it from the American public.
He got a pulmonary side effect, yeah. But I mean, look, so even with the dog, with the Beaglegate and then Fauci-gate, he got caught in his email or messages telling another worker, he goes, I'll email you from my personal email account, which is against the law. He's not supposed to do that. He lied to Congress about that. Now he's caught. I mean, we'll see what happens, but tomorrow's going to be interesting. Here's my question. Why did they shouldn't have released this. They should have been quiet about this and saved it for tomorrow when they question him. Because now he's going to know he knows what's going to come at him, and he can prepare himself for it. He can prepare for more lies or whatever he's going to do. Or he could just sit there, he could hold up that stupid fucking pardon. Say, I don't got to answer nothing.
Now, here's a name we covered earlier in the show. The Washington Post ran pieces, probably because of Eric Schultz, framing the public outrage as driven misleading images and a campaign by the White Coast Waste while downplaying NIAID's role. Washington Post cover story referenced Fauci in his diary, had the title, Fake Beagle Research Claim Deluges Fauci's Phone Lines. They weren't fake. Shame on you, Washington Post, you scumbags. Here they are again. But I guarantee one thing, they'll still have their press pass today. They'll still be walking into the White House, sitting there doing their bullshit.
Well, you know,
I'd like to know the administration. Here's another time, Washington Post. We hear that scumbag Rag's name, and anybody that in any way is reading the Washington Post, God forbid if you're getting the Washington Post delivered to your house. Shame on you for what they're doing, lying to the American public. You should cancel all your subscriptions. You should stop watching them. You should stop reading them. Don't go to their website. Don't do any of that. I refuse to go to any of these websites to look for press. If I find press from Washington Post that I even thought was reasonably decent, which I don't trust anything they have to say, I would literally grab it off of a platform like X. I would look for somebody that reprinted it. I refuse to give them my traffic so they can put out fake traffic numbers. I mean, factcheck.org and others claim Fauci's agency had not directly funded certain specific Tunisia experts. It's not true. Okay, in August of 21, the Gateway Pundit exposed this one. They showed that the NIAID, under Fauci's direction, took a portion of a $375,000 grant directly to a laboratory in Tunisia where the beagles were sedated. Their heads were locked into those mesh cages filled with starved sandflies infected with leishmania parasites so the insects could feed on the living dogs, and the animals were then isolated alone in desert cages for 9 consecutive nights to serve as bait for those flies. My opinion, I'd stick Fauci's head in the same box.
Well, he did that with Georgia, too, the University of Georgia, $424,000 grant, whatever it was, to infect healthy beagles with experimental drug and potentially infested with parasite carrion flies. But, you know, Robbie in the chat said it. And you know what? And he goes, we are all beagles. And
100%.
And that gets
Robbie, over the target.
That gets to the point of the vax. Because we tried to warn everybody when it came out about the vaccine, COVID. We got canceled off all social media. Doctors got ridiculed, got canceled. I mean, it was crazy. So, I mean, now his diaries, Fauci diaries, he destroys the myth. Because he privately knew the Wuhan lab was a source while publicly shutting it all down. He knew it was made in the lab. But he shut that down and said, no, it was, from an animal. He admitted the virus acted like a bad flu. But what he did? He locked down the whole country. Because now if you get COVID, you don't have to be on lockdown. You could just walk around. There's no more being in a room locked away from everybody. Now, but he knew that. But he still acted like, oh, you need to lock down. He bragged about forcing school closures. And then what did he do afterwards? He said, oh, don't look at me. No, we're looking at you because you forced the school closures when they didn't have to. You dumbed down the kids. And like Lance said earlier, he got a vaccine injury himself and hid it while telling everybody, oh, the shots were perfectly safe. He was cozying up with, had cozy dinners with, I think, Jake Tapper and floating No Christmas for the rest of us. Remember that? Highest COVID death rate in the world under his leadership. How many millions of kids set back, made dumber? How many trillions lost? How much the public trust shattered? And you know what? Remember the press? They covered it all up. They were, I remember when the press, they used to do actual investigative journalism and uncover stuff. They would have uncovered this if they wanted to, but they didn't. They just go with the narrative, the flow. Crazy. And then Fauci's walking around like nothing happened.
Here's some notes of Fauci's, which just tells you that he knew, but it's the way that he does it. Of course, this diary was released by Senator Rand Paul. This is October 25th entry, page 908. He wrote, there seems to be no end to the nonsense. No doubt there was a concerted effort led by a group that I'm not sure what it is, but likely is the Republican National Committee, which literally has squads of people looking out for anything and everything that I'm involved with and finding some way to attack me. The latest that came out last night and today is the fact that there is apparently an NIAID grant that is testing a vaccine for leishmaniasis in dogs. It vaccinates the dogs and allows sandflies infected with leishmania to bite the dogs. It is now being billed as horrific cruelty to animals directed personally by me. I have no idea what the grant is nor what they are doing in the grants. And I'm asking the staff to investigate that now, but it has triggered a new hashtag called Arrest Fauci. We know that apparently the grant was not an NIAID grant that supported the controversial research on the dogs. They listed us as a grantee. Well, that's a straight lie. We already know now that the grant was from NIAID. We're trying to correct this now with a statement to the press, and the crap goes on and on. Now they have begun harassing campaign where I am getting dozens of calls on my cell phone using FaceTime from numbers that I do not recognize, which are clearly people who now have my cell phone number for harassing me about the Beagle study. Wonderful article by Dana Milbank in the Washington Post blasting the right wing for harassing me. Dana Milbank, you're a piece of shit. Washington Post, you're a piece of shit. The next page, 909, he continued, it is so very clear now that this is a concerted effort to discredit me and assassinate my character. We have counted the attacks regarding the Beagle dog experience, but still the attacks continue, falsely claiming the NID. Another lie. And then he goes on October 28th. Talking to the Washington Post, Yasmin Abatuleb, another piece of shit. She's getting very worked up about the fact that she realized now that there's an organized effort to discredit me, and she wants to use the investigative reporter and capabilities of the Washington Post. That's weaponizing the press. The whole thing is garbage. And now he's talking about PolitiFact, trying to debunk the lies about me that are swirling around fast and furious about killing dogs. Fauci did kill dogs. He did run these tests. He did know about it. This just goes on
He
and
also
on.
killed people too, Lance.
George, read the one here.
I don't want to. He killed people too. I want to show the clip of JFK, RFK ousting him. I mean,
yeah, let's do that. Go ahead.
This massive dichotomy between what he was saying privately and what he was simultaneously saying publicly. He says in his diaries on January 30th that the Wuhan lab could not possibly be the source of the virus.
Oh, we know that was all
and
false.
then, well, we all know it, but now his diary, he says he knew that, and yet for 2 years he told us that was.
But he was given a pardon prospectively from the last administration. We don't know if it was an auto pen pardon. It doesn't really matter for legality purposes, but Americans want to know, a lot of them, is there going to be any accountability for trillions of dollars lost, children's education destroyed, and public health industry reputation shattered?
Yeah, and millions of people injured. You know, he lied about masks, he lied about social distancing, he lied about the transmission, he lied about natural immunity, he lied about the capacity, as you just said, of the vaccine to prevent infection. He got vaccinated, a very, very public press conference in January of 2020. And then 5 months later, he had, and this is the first time that we knew this from the diary, he had a pulmonary infarction, which is one of the adverse events that NIH, CDC, and FDA said are expected from the vaccine. He never told anybody. He got treated for it privately by the best doctors in America. At the same time, he was telling everybody that that was not an adverse event.
Is there anything else we're missing from these diaries that has not been released that you can share with us tonight?
I don't think, I mean, I have to say a lot of this stuff is in my book, but based upon other documents. But there's something very dramatic, even for me, of seeing him write it in his own journal, confessing to being wrong, to lying about all this
also loving
stuff.
his own press. I mean, they're going on and on. Well, I'm the most.
yeah, I remember his ego, always wanted to be in front of the press and all that crap. He looks like a little rat too. Can't stand him. But yeah, he's still walking around free. He should be charged with murder. Mass murder, right? I think Fauci can go down as the biggest serial killer yet. Remember, like all the day he did it with the AIDS drug too, man. And yet, still walking around doing what he wants to do.
Yep, still walking around with his absolute, all-encompassing blanket pardon, his auto pen pardon, still dealing with that. I mean, listen, at this point, it's pretty clear that Joe Biden didn't win the election freely and fairly. That means he wasn't president of the United States in a free and fair election, which would mean that everything he ever did should be able to be reversed. But I don't see any movement in that direction. Anybody trying to go ahead and go after Joe Biden for not being president of the United States. All right, listen. Thank you for tuning in today. We appreciate your time. It's the most valuable commodity I have. So we're blessed to have you guys in an audience. Get in there, leave us a comment on the way out. Have us any interviews or anything you'd like to see us do. Of course, we love you guys. If you can do a Rumble Rant tip, we always appreciate that. $5, $10, any bucks.
Rat Dog gave us a $10 Rumble Rant.
Oh, hey, Rat Dog, thank you so very much for the $10 Rumble Rant. We always appreciate that. And of course, you guys know the best thing to do is to share our content, take the short form, take the long form, grow your own social media, help us get the word out, tell your friends and family to watch the show. And listen, go over to YouTube, hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button or the follow button over at Locals. All you got to do is follow. It's a zero cost item. And then go to every major podcast platform. Take 5-10 minutes for us and just hit follow, leave some comments, share the content on any podcast platform you're on. We haven't been thrown off on any of them yet. We're still there on Amazon and iHeartRadio and Apple, you name it. We're on all of them, Spotify. Whatever we can do to grow that base and get you guys listening and paying attention to us is greatly appreciated. So, God, country, family, man, we love you guys and thanks for listening to us. George.
Y'all have a blessed day. Taco Tuesday. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit blocktrustira.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar, the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. Don't leave your future to chance. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now at prepperbar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.